AC Green, AC.
I'm here, y'all.
AC Green, AC. The AC Green Show.
Hey everybody, it's AC Green, the AC Green Show. You know what we're all about. We are building a community of goal-oriented, success-driven individuals who recognize the value of coming together to do great things as we all build financial wealth and live holistic lives. So I am going live on YouTube for the very first time. Just finished a 3-hour-long radio show, and a great show, gave away some money on the show, all of that. But I wanted to talk to you all some more about this Cardi B situation. I want y'all to come on in and make yourself known in terms of what you think about this. Is it all right that we are pushing out information in the media and music or entertainment that may not work well consciously or mentally for our people? Is that all right? See, on the radio, we had some comments and some were for, some were against, but I want to get your opinion. Hey, Whit, what's happening? When it comes to what we push out in terms of information to our people, is it all right that a Cardi B says that she's not a role model? Is that all right with us? Or do we see anything that we do as a community as something that is potentially detrimental to us? Or are we just good with whatever happens? We cannot be hypocritical with this. We cannot, on the one hand, hey, with Devereaux, what's happening? I saw you there. You cannot, on the one hand, Cynthia, what's happening? You cannot, on the one hand, talk about white supremacy and all that it is not, all that it is, all of this with white supremacy, and then at the same time, not see Cardi B as a problem. You know, I get she has free reign to do whatever she wants to, just like Charles Barkley said, I'm not your role model. They have free reign to do whatever they want to. But if we're going to be against white supremacy, then we have to be for us looking out for each other. You get in these households, you don't see a lot of couples in these households. You see single parent households. You see a lot of women raising children. Come on, family. You know, it's not like back in the day when they had the church to go to and maybe some other organizations where young folks could go to and all that. You don't have all that like you did. You have essentially a digital age where young children as young as 3, 5, 6, 7 years old can be impacted greatly. Yeah, the parental, controls on devices may be there, but they're not always active like you think they're active. Hey, Mona. We have to make sure that Cardi B should only be relegated and regulated, or however you want to say it, to those folks who are ready for that. Everybody not ready for that. But these young kids are sucking up Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion. I know they are. I'm in this industry. I'm in the music industry. I get what's going on. Family, real time. What do you all think about this? See, let's put it where it really is. As long as the world stands, as long as children are born, as long as we are, functioning like we are, little girls need a daddy and a mommy. Little boys need a mommy and a daddy. I want you all to think about this. I get all of the progressions that we call ourselves making, Black Lives Matter, the whole 9 yards and all that. But we got to make sure that we're not being scapegoating different things and scapegoating white supremacy and scapegoating, various things that are happening. Donald Trump, he's a boogeyman. This one now is a boogeyman. Joe Biden is a boogeyman. This one ain't no good. That one ain't no good. We got to make sure that we're holding true to something. We cannot lose all senses of what it means to establish family. Little girls impacted by Cardi B, even mimicking Cardi B at 3 and 5 years old. Mona said, yes, they made that hit song. And it's a hit song. Very colorful video, very creatively done. But it's speaking to the minds of those that can least afford to soak that stuff up. You're talking about the next generation. What is that going to look like? If our young girls are being impacted by this messaging, see, it's not like back in the day. Yeah, maybe back in the day with some songs and some music and maybe even some movies that were not the best for young folks. But look at the structures that you had in place. You had more solid families. You had more engagement in families like that. Now you don't have that. Black folks, we got to look out for each other, and not just in the ways that sometimes we think we need to protest something. We need to be protesting those things that are going to alter the mindset of our people. At the head of this is white supremacy, because technology and distribution has to get Cardi B's message out to the public. So, of course, they have no problem force feeding our people stuff that's going to put us behind the 8 ball. No problem talking about things that can lead a young girl towards prostitution and all this. I need you all to consider something. There is an inordinate amount of sexual manipulation going on in our communities, in the black community, and most of it happens in and through the household. Grown folks messing with young kids. That's already on their mind. A lot of these kids, the reason they have to go and take Ritalin because they can't get themselves under control, because they are bipolar and they have issues, is because they've been touched. They've been abused by somebody they knew. Somebody, in many cases, that their family knew. And now here comes a Cardi B. You don't need anything affirming what is already affecting the mind of our people. And we get so cavalier about it. I remember back in the day when they were talking about R. Kelly, and the video was circulating of him pissing on the girl. Y'all saw, some of you, I never saw the video. And many people were mum about that, just quiet as they could be about that. Until it got popular, and it now, all of a sudden, folks, dignified women I saw grabbing at an R. Kelly concert, grabbing for R. Kelly's ding dong. Serious business. I'm watching this. Grown folks, grown women with children were saying nothing about R. Kelly. Now y'all can say, that you all were talking about R. Kelly and it wasn't all right. But back in the day, y'all were making, black women were making R. Kelly a hero at the same time he was manipulating and messing with young kids. Now y'all know I'm telling the truth. It wasn't until recently they took the music off, and I'm not in agreement with that. I don't think a person's art needs to be pulled down like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if the song is objectionable, take the song off. But you don't have to pull down the entire art like Bill Cosby. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that level of creative council culture like that. I just think that we ought to be responsible in terms of putting pressure on the artist to be responsible. I think that should be. We counseling everything else. Why don't we counsel what is going to hurt our kids? Because the next generation, you're going to raise your kids. Mona said, yes, they are. They were. You're going to raise your kids. You're going to seek to educate your kids properly. You're going to seek to send your kids to great schools. You're going to seek to hopefully see your child do well, maybe even marry well and all that. But what are you doing as far as how their consciousness is framed? These things are framing their consciousness. We got to be more controlling of what our children digest. They're children. They're not adults. They're children. They cannot be falling in love with a culture that tells them that a wet ass pussy is, and that's what she's saying in wet ass pussy. That is what the song is. You got to be more. You got to teach your daughter that she's more than a wet ass pussy. Think about this. If we don't teach our kids that they're more than that, with the depression that they may already be under, with the bipolarism they may already be under, now you're giving them, you're literally, what's the word I'm looking for? You're literally celebrating what is going to destroy them mentally. No way that is not. I'm telling you right now that I may sound like an old fogey. I may sound like an old grandpa dude. And maybe I'm just wiser as I get older, but I was saying the same thing about R. Kelly back in the day. That is nowhere in the world we should not have challenged R. Kelly at the highest level back in that day. And why weren't we doing this? Why weren't mothers doing this? Think of what have we become? And then the moment that things go wrong and we see some outward signs of white supremacy, we are always ready to go and almost scapegoat what we see. And that's wrong. A police officer should not be kneeling on the neck of a black man. and all these Karens out here doing and saying what they're saying. All that's wrong. But what is it that's happening that's not making us see and then act on the wrong that we're letting happen in our communities? Why are we challenging the Cardi B's? Why are we challenging the radio stations? And I'll work with them. Why are we challenging the distribution of these products to make sure it cannot get in the ear gate of our kids? Now, let me ask you a question. And I want you all to be honest with me. Please be honest with me. By the way, I want you to ring the bell here. This way you'll get notified when we go live with content, and you can also subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate that. What I want to do with this channel, we have millions of, we just started the YouTube channel, but we have millions of listeners across radio in Chicago and all over the country. What I want to do is I want to bring those people to a forum like this where we can talk, and we're building community. So I want to bring them to a forum like this. All right. And I need your help to do that. So if you could share this video, that would be very appropriate for me, and I would love you for it. But we need to get messaging out that people are not hearing messaging, that is talking about things that's true and that's real, that's challenging the status quo. We have to challenge what we are seeing. We cannot go along with what does not make any sense. So if you would subscribe to this channel, if you haven't already done that, and then ring the bell so that when I go live, you can be notified, and then share this video, please, and then make a comment, because all those are algorithms that allow YouTube to really get this channel to other people. We have 1.8 million people across radio in the third largest market in America, Chicago, and then that is heard across the country. But now I want to bring them into the YouTube forum. If you would help me do that, that would be much appreciated. I want to ask you a question. If the crack man or woman, the one who sells and distributes crack, if they told you as a parent that we're going to come to your child's social media or to your child's school or anywhere where your child is, you would not think that that was appropriate. That they said, we're not going to make them take it. We're just going to put it in front of them and they can choose whether or not they want to take it. You would not find that to be appropriate, because it's not. In the same way, we got to guard our gates, family. You got to guard your ear gate and your eye gate. And children especially, because they're so vulnerable, they have to be protected, their eye gate and their ear gate, what they see and what they hear, because that's going to make an indelible impression on who they become. Yes, it will. And if you don't already know that, Mona, you loving me. Look at you. You don't want that. That's right. Think about it. Family, if you raise your children and from the day they're born, if you speak English to them, that's the language they're going to speak. But as dark-skinned as you may be, if you speak Spanish to them, that's the language they're going to speak. As much melanin as it's in your skin, if you speak Mandarin Chinese to them, that's what they're going to speak. They may be black, but they're going to speak Mandarin, because that's the language that's spoken around them. We learn most by precept and example, and that's what our children learn. So if they're exposed to a prostitution, whole bitch culture, don't be at all surprised if that's what they become. We have to guard this for our children. And then we'll be wondering later on, why did they turn out like that? Because that is what was speaking to their mind. I want you to let me know what you think. I mean, I don't have to be right in your opinion, but what do you think about this? Cardi B is an entertainer. I get that. But would we is it all right for us to let what we consider to be entertainment, and it is, cross the line where children are concerned? And then you may not even you may want your child to be exposed to almost everything. If that's your thing, let me know if that's your thing. You want your child to be exposed to everything. And if they're appropriate age for them to be exposed to more things. But I just think that when you go talk to young folks The younger, I'm telling you, as young as able to talk, most can tell you who Cardi B is. Most of us old folks, it got to pass our news feed. But most young children, especially girls, can tell you who Cardi B is. And now Meg the Stallion is getting more and more popularity. At any rate, I want you all to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you ring the bell. And then make sure that you share the video. I think that many have become, how can I say this? I'm going to be nice about it. Many have become unknowing players in white supremacy. White supremacy controls the mechanism. But if we are not guarding our people from the mechanism that doesn't make sense for our children, then we are allowing our children to be formed in a way that potentially could destroy their future. Doesn't matter how well you educate somebody. If mentally they are going to make bad choices because of what has been programmed in their mind at impressionable ages, you could be undoing what you mean as the best for your child in education. At any rate, leave a comment. What do you think? Is Cardi B good for the consumption of young children? What are you doing with your children in terms of protecting them against not only Cardi B, but a lot of the music that exists? We cannot talk about death and destruction. We cannot talk about rape in a glorified way, and we cannot talk about prostitution and swinging from a pole and stripping and all that in a glorified way, and think that it's not going to be glorified by the people that consume it. Young children. All right. I thank you all. I appreciate you too. I do. And I love y'all. You know I do. I love you. This is my absolute first live, by the way. Yep, my first live on YouTube. And it's good. So I have a whole panel of things here. Let's see. We're going to end the show like how I want to end it. Let me do this. By the way, don't you all forget, the Hair Project sponsors most of our videos. So you want to make sure you are a part of the Hair Project. The Hair Project is making a lot of money for a lot of people across the country. Yeah, so the distributors are trained and coached to have their own online hair business. Always know that we have to start a business family. We have to get at least 3 streams of income. We have to know the difference between passive income and active income. Active income is income that is derived because you get a paycheck. Paycheck income, you all, is not all that it's cracked up to be nowadays. Keep your job, but get you a passive income piece too. Passive income is like the Hair Project, where when you start, you get your own online hair business, you're making money when you're sleeping. You get what I'm saying? You want to do that because you want to put at least $3,000 a month in your pocket every month from a passive income. Hear what I'm saying? We need at least 3 strong income sources, streams of income. But let's start with making sure we have an active and a passive. If you have a job, that's good. If you don't have a job and you want to do another business, you have money to get in the Hair Project. It's only $99 to join the Hair Project, by the way, and you get hair with that. All right. We also do all the beauty supplies, so you have be able to sell hair and all of the beauty supplies. I appreciate you, Mona. Mona, make sure you share. You're one of my greatest supporters. I appreciate that too. I love all of you all. I'm going to be commenting, going to the comments, and responding to your comments after this video as well. But look into the Hair Project. Just go to the acgreenshow.com, theacgreenshow.com, and look for the Hair Project, and you'll get the information there. I appreciate all of you all. Virgie Holiday, if you're here, congratulations. Virgie got $300 today. Yeah, she won $300 over the last few weeks, and we gave her a check today. We're always giving because it's more blessed to give than to receive. All right, you know it's all about community, so we're giving to each other. You're my sister, my brother, and I love you. When you rise, I rise too. And now we're going to the outro. I'm doing all this, you all. I love this. Yeah. Yes.
It's all about community, so we're giving to each other. You're my sister, my brother, and I love you. When you rise, I rise too. Ooh, it's all about community, so we're giving to
AC Green. AC.
I'm here, y'all.
AC Green. AC. The AC Green.